All right, let's talk about a feeling that, well, it pretty much defines our time, doesn't it? That relentless, just overwhelming speed of modern life. We're going to dig into what that's actually doing to our ability to, think.
So let's just cut right to the chase. Here's the big question, the one that's at the heart of this whole thing. In this world that just keeps getting faster and faster, is there any room left for genuine, deep thought? I mean, do we still have time to think?
Okay, so how in the world did we get here? Well, first, you've got to understand just how radically the entire pace of our world has been completely redefined.
Think about it this way. For almost all of human history, change was slow, like really slow. The world your grandparents were born into is pretty much the same world they left behind. It was this gradual, almost invisible current. You had time to adapt, you had time to really understand things and to pass that wisdom down.
And this really shows you the dramatic shift. For thousands of years, the pace was generational. Then, the 2000s hit, technology was growing for sure, but we could kind of just about keep up. And then everything changed. We hit this major, major turning point.
Yeah, after 2010, wow, it's like someone slammed the accelerator to the floor. The gears shifted from fast to something totally uncontrollable. This wasn't just another small step forward. When advanced AI showed up, it wasn't a gentle arrival, it was an explosion. It completely rewrote the rulebook for our world before we even got a chance to finish page 1.
And all this incredible acceleration brings us to a huge, fundamental conflict. The world we've built is now moving way faster than the people, us, who built it in the first place.
And that's really the core tension of our age, isn't it? We have to ask ourselves, seriously, are we, as these biological, emotional creatures, even equipped to handle the reality we've created for ourselves? Are we built for this kind of world? And right here, this is the fundamental mismatch. On one hand, our very nature is wired for things like touch and silence and just having time to process what happens to us. But on the other hand, what does the modern world demand? The exact opposite. Insane speed, snap judgments, and this endless cycle of forgetting one thing just to make room for the next.
So here's the thing. We celebrate all these gains in efficiency, right? We can work faster, talk faster, produce faster, everything's faster. But this obsession with productivity, it makes you wonder, what did we lose in the trade-off? Are our lives actually any deeper? Or are they just more compressed?
And all this speed, it leads to one of the great ironies of our time. I'm talking about the paradox of living in a world that is just completely saturated with information.
I mean, it's wild, right? We have more information at our fingertips than anyone, ever, in history. Just endless knowledge. But, and this is a big but, just having more data doesn't automatically mean you have more wisdom. In fact, the sheer amount of it can actually get in the way of the quiet reflection you need for any real understanding.
And then you've got the other side of that coin, the paradox of connection. Social media gave everybody a platform, right? A microphone to shout their thoughts to the entire world. Sounds amazing in theory, but in a world where everyone is shouting, is there anyone left to actually listen?
Okay, so it's clear we're struggling in this new world, but what about the technology that's driving it all? Let's take a look at what the machine can do, and maybe more importantly, what it absolutely cannot.
Don't get me wrong, AI is incredible. It can write music, it can generate articles, it can make these super complex decisions in the blink of an eye. But for all of that power, there's this huge, uncrossable gap between its processing and, well, our human existence.
You see, real wisdom isn't born from data points. It's born from these messy, deeply human experiences. A machine doesn't know what it's like to suffer. It can't feel that cold grip of fear or the pain of a broken hope or even just the heavy, heavy weight of waiting. These are the things that teach us.
And this completely reframes the whole conversation, doesn't it? We spend so much time worrying, is this technology dangerous? But maybe we're asking the wrong question. What if the real danger has always been any tool, literally any tool, in the hands of a person who doesn't know themselves?
So what's the answer? Where do we go from here? Well, it might not be a new piece of tech or an even faster solution. It might be something much, much older, something more profound. Look, let's just be honest for a second. We're tired. I mean, really tired. And it's not that good kind of tired you get after a hard day's work. It's a deeper fatigue, right? It's an exhaustion that comes from the constant acceleration, from that feeling that you never ever get a second to just breathe.
And that leads us to a really powerful thought. What if the solution isn't to invent some new app or gadget to fix this? What if the way forward is actually to look backward, to an old kind of awareness that we've let slip away? So what is this old awareness? Well, it's pretty simple in concept, but it's not easy to do. First, it's about acknowledging that we humans have limits, especially in a world that screams for limitlessness. Second, it's about accepting that our minds aren't computers. They need tranquility, they need quiet to work right. And finally, it's about understanding that real meaning, well, it's like a slow-cooked meal, not something you get from a drive-thru.
And let's be really clear about this. Choosing to pause isn't about giving up. It's not about letting yourself fall behind in the race. It's a strategic move. It's about deliberately stepping off the racetrack for a minute to get the perspective and the understanding you need to actually move forward with some kind of purpose.
Because here's the real danger of all this blind, thoughtless acceleration. We get so obsessed with how fast we're going that we completely forget to ask where we're going. We can make incredible progress, sure, move faster than any generation before us, only to arrive at a place we never ever wanted to be. And really, without that time to think, to reflect, to actually choose our path on purpose, we risk using all this amazing speed for nothing more than getting to the wrong place faster.